Welcome back to the Technology Risk Podcast.
Hello again. Before we really get started today, just a quick ask.
Yeah, if you find these discussions useful, please take a second to subscribe. Find the Technology Risk Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music.
Pretty much any major platform you use, it honestly makes a big difference and helps us keep bringing you this kind of analysis.
It really does. Okay, so today's topic, it's quite alarming when you look at the numbers.
Alarming is definitely the word. We're looking at a statistic that, frankly, should grab the immediate attention of anyone in security, IT, or, well, business leadership.
Absolutely. We're talking about the sharpest single-month jump in ransomware activity this year.
A staggering 25% surge just in October. That's according to CompareTech research.
25% in 1 month. That's not just noise, is it? It signals a real strategic shift by attackers.
Definitely. And if you needed any more evidence that the whole ransomware economy is booming, well, just look at the forecasts.
Yeah, Cybersecurity Ventures is projecting global ransomware damages are set to blow past $30 billion in 2025.
$30 billion.
Yeah.
And growing, 15% annually? It's huge.
It's astronomical.
Yeah.
So our goal with this conversation today is really specific.
Right. We need to cut through the chatter and really understand what drove this latest surge.
And crucially, why managed service providers, MSPs, why have they become such key targets, such leveraged targets?
Exactly. And then the most critical part, what immediate practical steps can you, listening right now, take to actually build resilience, to turn that worry into real readiness? Okay,
so let's start with that surge. This 25% jump didn't just materialize out of thin air. What are the mechanics behind it?
Well, the first big piece of the puzzle is definitely the industrialization of cybercrime through RAS, Ransomware-as-a-Service.
RAS, yeah, we hear that term a lot, but what does it actually mean in practice?
It's fascinating, really. It's about democratizing attack capabilities. You have these groups, think Lockbit, Black Cat, ALPHV, 8base.
The big names.
Right. And they aren't just coding malware. They're running full-blown franchise operations. They offer affiliates everything. Pre-built ransomware payloads, detailed playbooks, tech support, even the portals for negotiating ransoms.
So it basically turns sophisticated cyber attacks into something accessible, even for actors who maybe aren't, top-tier hackers themselves.
Exactly. You don't need to be a coding whiz to potentially cripple a business anymore. You just need to sign up as an affiliate for one of these criminal outfits.
And the scale of this model is significant.
Hugely significant. Unit 32's data for Q4 2024, they estimate RAS operations are behind 70% of all reported ransomware incidents. 70%.
Wow. So odds are if you're dealing with a ransomware attack today, you're likely up against a RAS affiliate, not the core group.
That's the most probable scenario, yeah.
Okay, so RAS covers the how, the execution. But what about getting in the door in the first place, the initial access? We keep hearing about AI. Is that playing a real role?
Oh, absolutely. It's not just hype. Generative AI is definitely supercharging that initial social engineering phase. Phishing, basically.
How, though? What's AI doing differently?
Attackers are using these large language models to craft what some are calling perfect lures. Emails, texts. They can generate highly convincing, contextually relevant messages automatically and at scale.
So much better than the old phishing emails with typos and weird grammar.
Miles better. They're grammatically perfect, often tailored to the target, and they sail right past a lot of the traditional email filters that used to catch the low-hanging fruit.
Is there data on how much this has increased?
Yeah. Proofpoint tracked a 126% increase in AI-assisted phishing year over year. That's a massive jump.
Wow. Any specific examples?
We saw one campaign, for instance, that perfectly impersonated MSP support portals. The templates were generated using ChatGPT. The quality, the apparent legitimacy, it's just on another level now.
Okay, so you've got easily accessible RAS tools on one side and super effective AI-powered phishing to get initial access on the other.
And then layer on the broader context, right? Global instability, economic pressures.
Right. Companies cutting costs, maybe IT budgets get squeezed, patching gets delayed.
Exactly. It creates this environment where defenses might be weaker. It's an old pattern, really. Economic downturns often correlate with a rise in cybercrime because attackers know how to exploit those vulnerabilities.
So the tools are cheaper, smarter, more scalable, the lures are better, and the targets might be under-resourced.
That's the unfortunate convergence. Which brings us to who becomes the most valuable target in that environment.
And that leads us straight to managed service providers, MSPs.
Precisely. If your business is managing IT for other organizations, You are, unfortunately, right in the center of the bullseye now.
The big reason being the amplifier effect, right?
Exactly that. Why would an attacker spend time trying to breach, say, 50 different small businesses one by one?
When they can just hit the one MSP that manages all 50.
Right. Compromise the MSP, and you potentially get the keys to the kingdom for dozens, maybe hundreds of downstream clients all at once. It's leverage.
We saw this play out disastrously with the Kaseya attack back in 2021, didn't we?
That's the textbook case. A single vulnerability in an MSP management platform led to over 1,500 businesses being infected. It's not theoretical.
And the stats bear this out today.
They do. Something like 57% of MSPs have reported at least one ransomware incident impacting their clients just in the last year. It's become an operational reality for them.
And it's not just about breaching the MSP's main network, is it? It's also about the tools they use.
Yeah, the tool chain itself, especially the RMM tools, remote monitoring and management software. These are essential for MSPs to do their job efficiently, providing support remotely.
But they're also potential backdoors if compromised, giving attackers that privileged access across the whole client base.
Every tool that offers convenience inevitably introduces some risk. And RMM tools offer a lot of convenience and therefore a lot of potential risk if not secured perfectly.
There's also the economic pressure on MSPs themselves, right? It's often a business with pretty thin margins.
That's a huge factor. It forces this difficult security trade-off. MSPs know they need things like advanced threat detection, maybe 24/7 monitoring or threat hunting.
But the cost is prohibitive.
For many, yes. CompTIA research found that 43% of MSPs said cost constraints were the main reason they hadn't implemented 24/7 monitoring or MDR, managed detection and response services.
43%.
Right.
That's nearly half saying they can't afford what seems like essential protection given the threat level. That feels like a systemic issue.
It highlights a significant gap. And that gap, that lack of constant monitoring and response capability, is exactly where these RIAS affiliates thrive. They exploit that window.
Okay, so the risks are clear. The why MSPs is clear. Let's talk about the impact when things go wrong, the cost.
Right. Because the cost isn't just the ransom demand, although that's bad enough.
What are we seeing for average ransom payments now?
Chainalysis puts the average payment at over $1.54 million per incident.
$1.4 million. Just the ransom. That doesn't count remediation, recovery, lost business.
Not at all. And you have to think, like you said, if your entire annual security budget is, say, less than 10% of that average ransom, you're essentially betting you'll never get hit. It's a risky bet.
A very risky bet. And the attackers aren't just encrypting data anymore, are they? There's this double extortion tactic.
That's become standard procedure for many groups. First, they steal your sensitive data, exfiltrate it. Then they encrypt your systems.
So they hit you twice.
Effectively, yes. They demand one ransom for the decryption key to get your systems back online, and then a second ransom to promise they won't leak or sell the confidential data they sold.
Which massively increases the pressure, not just financially, but reputationally too, especially for an MSP holding client data.
Hugely. And even if you're lucky, maybe you don't pay the ransom, maybe you have good backups, the operational impact is still brutal.
Downtime, that's the killer, isn't it? Even with backups, getting everything restored takes time.
A lot of time. Coveware estimates the average ransomware incident leads to 21 days of downtime.
21 days. 3 weeks.
Just pause and think about that. 3 weeks of major operational disruption. Most small or medium businesses, they'd struggle to survive 3 days, 21 days. That can easily be fatal.
It's basically a business continuity failure at that point, not just a security incident.
Absolutely. And for the MSP itself, the reputational fallout, it can be devastating. If you fail to protect your clients or if recovery takes too long.
You're looking at contractual penalties, lawsuits, clients leaving.
All of the above. We heard about one regional MSP, for example, that lost 3 of its biggest clients simply because a ransomware recovery dragged on for about a week. The trust was just gone.
The damage goes way beyond the initial attack. Okay, this is grim stuff, but we need to pivot from the problem to the solution.
Exactly. Time for the action plan. What can you actually do about this? What builds real resilience?
Step 1, it seems, has to be about architecture, adopting what you called a client isolation mindset.
Yes. Aggressively segmenting client environments, using separate management tools where possible. The goal is to prevent lateral movement. If one client gets breached, it absolutely cannot spread to others or compromise the core MSP infrastructure. Containment is key.
Makes sense. Stop the amplifier effect in its tracks. Step 2, backups, obviously, but a specific kind.
Immutable backups. This is non-negotiable now. Backups that, once written, cannot be altered or deleted, even by someone with administrator credentials. Think worm, write once, read many.
Why immutable specifically?
Because attackers actively target backups.
Oh.
They'll try to delete or encrypt them to increase their leverage. Immutable backups resist that, and the impact is massive. Veeam's data suggests immutable backups can reduce the overall financial impact of a ransom attack by 85%.
85% reduction. Okay, that makes it pretty essential, not just a nice to have.
It's probably the single best insurance policy against financial ruin from ransomware.
All right, step 3, vigilance.
24/7 threat monitoring. You need constant visibility. If you're an MSP, or any organization really, and you can't afford to staff a full 24/7 security operations center, or SOC.
Then outsourcing is the way to go. MDR or XDR.
Exactly. Managed detection and response, or extended detection and response, for broader visibility across endpoints, networks, cloud. It provides that continuous oversight. You need eyes on glass all the time.
And step 4, it's not just about tech, is it?
No, it's practice. Monthly incident response drills.
Yeah.
You have to rehearse. Run tabletop exercises. Test your communication plans. How do you coordinate with clients when systems are down and maybe email isn't working?
That crisis communication piece is so often overlooked, but so critical.
Absolutely vital. And these steps aren't theoretical. We see the difference in real-world outcomes.
You mentioned a success story.
Yeah, an MSP that really embraced segmentation and deployed immutable backups properly. They did get hit. Eventually it happens. But because of those controls, restoration took under 3 hours. No ransom paid. Minimal disruption.
Under 3 hours versus 21 days average downtime, that's night and day.
It proves the point. Strong containment and fast, reliable recovery define whether you survive an attack relatively unscathed or face disaster.
And the flip side, the failure example.
A mid-sized MSP. They knew about a vulnerability in their RMM tool, but they delayed patching it. Maybe they felt they were too busy, maybe underestimated the risk.
And attackers found that gap.
They did. Exploited that known vulnerability, gained access, and locked up the networks of 20 of their clients. All because one critical patch was missed.
It underscores that patching isn't just routine IT housekeeping anymore. It's fundamental risk management.
Existential risk mitigation, really.
So looking forward, wrapping things up, what's the big picture shift needed?
It's fundamentally a mindset shift. Moving away from trying to achieve perfect, impenetrable prevention, which is probably impossible,
towards mandatory recovery readiness. Assume you'll be compromised at some point. Focus on how quickly and reliably you can restore operations.
Resilience becomes the primary goal, with prevention as a critical layer supporting it.
And it's not just on the MSP, is it? There's a shared element here.
Definitely. Shared accountability. Defense has to be a partnership between the MSP and its clients. Requires transparency about security measures, about response plans, about agreed upon recovery time objectives, RTOs. Everyone needs to be on the same page.
What about future tech? We talked about AI for attacks. Can it help defense too?
It has to. Leveraging AI analytics for defense is the next frontier. Using machine learning to spot anomalies, detect suspicious behavior patterns much faster than human analysts alone possibly could. In this game, speed is everything. AI can give defenders a crucial edge.
So recapping the core message, this 25% surge, it's real, driven by industrialized race and smarter AI phishing. MSPs are absolutely prime targets because of that amplifier effect.
But resilience is achievable. It comes down to that layered defense. Strong client isolation, absolutely mandatory immutable backups, continuous monitoring, and disciplined, regular practice of your incident response plan.
You really can channel the fear and uncertainty around these attacks into a proactive strategic advantage through readiness.
Well said. Preparation isn't just about avoiding pain. It's about protecting your operations, your reputation, your bottom line.
Which leads to our final thought for you to consider.
In this pervasive ransomware economy, being prepared isn't really optional anymore, is it? It's become the fundamental cost of doing business securely. It's essential profit protection.
A sobering but vital point. Thank you for joining us for this important conversation on the Technology Risk Podcast.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you found this valuable, please do subscribe.
You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, and really wherever you listen to podcasts. Your subscription helps us continue exploring these critical technology risks.
We'll be back soon with another analysis. Stay safe out there.